since let me take these pointers which has come from the audience and also from the madam, that is it really possible realistically to go to the root and address that cyber issues over there? How robust as a country as far as the tech point is concerned?
See, I'll do a little bit of English as well as Kannada. Okay. See, this threat is as good as any threat. For example, now whether it's male or female today, if you're walking on a dark road, what should be your self-awareness? You try to take your phone, put it in your pocket, you won't show something, right? You're kind of extra careful, you're looking around, somebody walking close by. So you're self-aware that there is a probability of a threat for you. Similarly here, all that we are talking about, if you want to do the basic first thing is, where does this digital threat comes from? It comes to your device. Now all of you have got, let us say, your Wi-Fi adapters at home, right? The wire comes to your device and the device broadcasts Wi-Fi, and that's how you are connected wirelessly to your phones. How many of us have even done anything at that particular level to manage the device? Sometimes it is factory set. That means what was the password that was given is still available at the same time. You have not actually even reconfigured that. And there are a few tips, for example. Suddenly if you feel your phone is warming up a lot than what it used to happen before, right? Or if you are losing battery very quickly, you have to be clear that maybe your device is compromised. This nobody can tell you, please remember, this is self-awareness. You know your device, you better know your device. These are all early pointers. Please remember, something that has actually happened to you has not happened overnight. You are shadowed. This might have taken 3 months, 6 months, and they have actually breached into your particular thing. Because there are security layers that are there. For example, if you look at the whole of the internet, where does the internet start, for example? Let us take India as such. Internet is, you have C cables which are coming in. At one point of time, that is where the first security safeguard actually happens to the whole country. So a lot of attacks are actually neutralized at that particular place. But something seeps in. And where does it come in? Ultimately, it comes to your door through your Wi-Fi. Now you will have to make some adjustments there, or it comes to your phone. Do we know how many? Is my phone secure? Do we know that? There are so many tests, guys, which are free. Is your device compromised? And again, I am telling you, no attack is surprise attack. For example, now there are two devices, part of your phone. One is a camera, right? The other one is a microphone. Even without you knowing, you don't have to call. I have my phone here. If I am talking through the microphone, somebody can actually listen. We are all talking only about money. Guys, there are much more dangerous things. Money is still okay, it's not life. But all these are life threatening. They can take a video of you. They might be, if my device is compromised, they can take a video of this session without me knowing or any of us knowing. Audio, video. Today you know face recognition. Aadhaar is linked to face recognition. If it can recognize here, can it also hack into Aadhaar? Because you have your face, fingerprint. Now there are so many apps which comes back and says, check your blood pressure, put your finger there on the this thing. It will come back and tell you, you know what they are doing. If you put that thing, they are capturing your fingerprint. Without you knowing, they can hack you. So now what I am trying to say here is, yes, there has to be a large initiative as a society. This is a problem which has to be addressed. And more things going digital. Look at this, even rural areas, as that, I really liked her spirit. You know, she was amazing actually. What she experienced, what she was talking about, and she's so excited. I think she'll, you know, mean such thing. You know, direct that energy, and she can do grand things. But basically, as I'm saying, with all of these things, more and more things going in, rural India getting onto this thing. The first thing that you actually do, basically digital, is payments today. You have a phone, you have social media. Worst is social media. Why do you think somebody comes back and says, lock your profile? Because with profile they can do so many things basically. So what kind of footprint you leave, digital footprint, all of these are our responsibility as individuals first. Because somewhere you opened up the window, see if it is raining and you open the window, water will come in. Same situation here. If we are not, everything is coming through devices, guys. First thing is, let us be conscious about, even get us a lift of whether our devices are compromised. Yes, subsequently phishing, so many things. And the biggest threat I'm telling you today, guys, which we have to be sure is, there's a technology which is going to come, which is already being talked about, quantum computing. What does that mean? The fastest computer that commercially is available, this quantum computer is 1,000 times faster. They used to call this a supercomputer, right? It's almost like commercially supercomputers will get available. All the securities, your password, your security key, the encryption keys, all of those can be better on because very fast, you know, hackers. It is available to hackers also. So now the biggest challenge going forward, 2026, the whole world is nobody is safe. So when you are downloading an app, please be conscious. Especially if it is asking, see for example, it will ask, do you want to give access to your contacts? Do you want to give access to your, yeah. You simply without knowing, makki allanu tick kodre, booth karkondu bandal mane olagade. Aamele yarige beitira. So like this, especially elli fingerprint idೆಯೋ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹುಷಾರಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕು. ಏನು ಆ್ಯಪ್ ಅಂತ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ರಮೈಸ್ ಆಗೋದೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಏನು ಬರೋಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಾನು ನೋಡಿ ಆ್ಯಪಲ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಈಸಿ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆ್ಯಪಲ್. ಬಟ್ ನೀವೇನೇ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಆ್ಯಪ್ ನೀವು ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, so the idea what I am saying is, yes, you need the whole ecosystem to kick in, but self-awareness is the most needed. ನೋಡಿ, I'll give you one situation. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ನಿಮ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲೇ ಸಂಕಟಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಅವನು ನೀವು ಓವರ್ ಥಾಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನಾಳೆ ದಿನ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ವೀಸಾ ಹೋಗ ಯಾವನು ಇದನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನ ಏನು ಅಂತ. ಅದೇ ತರ ಟೆರರಿಸಮ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ವೈಫೈ, ಓಕೆ, ವೈಫೈ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟರ್ ರೇಂಜ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೋಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾನವನ್ನ, if he is able to access you, he will send emails and the IP address is of yours. ಅವನು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನವನ್ನ IP address ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬಾಂಬೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯ್ತು, ಯಾವುದೋ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏರ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಥ್ರೆಟ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಸೇಜಸ್, ಬಾಂಬಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಸೇಜಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹುಡುಕಿದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನವಿ ಬಾಂಬೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮನೆ, ವೈಫೈ. ಅವನು ಬಂದು ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಈ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಅದು ಇದು ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನೀವು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, 3 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಯಾರೋ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನೋ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು. ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ, ಹೇ ನಂಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ, he give you that network. The moment you have done this is already recognizing. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ವೈಫೈ. ಅನ್ಲೆಸ್ ಯು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಯುವರ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಇವಾಗ ಮುಕ್ತವಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಲದು. If you are very naive, your exposure threat is much more. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ you have to become a little more conscious. Okay, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಮೊಮ್ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ನೀವು ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪಂಟ್ರ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. ಅವರೇನೆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಅಕ್ಕಪಕ್ಕ ಅದು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹುಡುಗರನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ನೋಡಿ. They are super smart in setting up some of these particular things. So security ಅನ್ನೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ದೊಡ್ಡ ವರ್ಡ್ ರೀ. ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ನಾವು ಬಾಗಿಲು ತೆಗಿಯೋದು ನಾವೇ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರು ಬ್ಲೇಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಹೇಳಿ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೇನೆ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನೋಡಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ನಲ್ಲೇನೆ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ನೀವು ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ಲೋ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಇವನ್ ಡೂ ಎನಿ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ಸ್. So many things, by doing basic things it can be saved. ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. SBI ಅಂತಾನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ .com ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕಲರ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಅಥವಾ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನೋ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಒಂದು ಡಾಟ್ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಸೇಮ್ ನ ನೀವು ಮಿರರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಹಿ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ DNS, ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಒಂದು ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಚತುರವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಲುಕ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಲೆಜಿಟಿಮೇಟ್. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ನೋಡಿ, ನಾನು US ವೀಸಾ ಅದು ಇವತ್ತು ಹೋಗಿ US ವೀಸಾ ಫೀಸ್ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇನೋ ಹೋಗಿ ನೀವು US ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಅಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ 5ನೇದೋ 6ನೇದೋ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಇರೋರು ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದರ್ ಆಲ್ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್. ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಅವರು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹಿಡಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ, ಇದನ್ನ ಈ ಬಾಗಿಲನ್ನ ನೀವು ಮುಚ್ಚಿ ಪಟಕ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬಾಗಿಲು ಆ ಕಡೆ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಸ್ ಅ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವಾರ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಅವರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಟೋಮೇಟೆಡ್. ಅವನು ನಿಮ್ದು ಥ್ರೆಟ್ ಪರ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. ನೋಡಿ, ಇಫ್ ಹಿ ಲೀವ್ಸ್ ಎನ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಫೋನ್ ಆರ್ ಲೀವ್ಸ್ ಎನ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಡಿವೈಸ್, ನೀವು ಯಾವಾಗ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ನೋಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾರು ಅಂತಾನೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ, ಓ ಇವ್ರೇನೋ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಅವ್ನು ಸಪೋಸ್ ಈ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೇಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನನಗೆ ನೋಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವನಲ್ಲಿ ಟಕ್ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅವ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾನೆ ಅವನು ಗೊತ್ತಾ. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಕೀ ಲಾಗರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಸೊ ಹೆದರ್ಕೋಬಾರ್ದು. ಹೇಗೇನಂದ್ರೆ ಓ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಬಂದವರೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಇದೆ, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಕಾನ್ಶಿಯಸ್. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಬರಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಏನೇನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. It is like that. So you can't stay away from this. ನಾನು ಬರೀ ದುಡ್ಡು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾನು ದುಡ್ಡಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟೋಟಲಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ಡ್. ವಿ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಅವೇರ್. ಬುದ್ಧ ಜನ ಆದ್ರೆ ಬಂತು ನೋಡಿ, ಯಾರೋ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಪಾಪ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾವನು. ಇಮೇಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಇಮೇಲ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಒಂದು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್. ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಇವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ತಾಯಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಮನೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅದೇನೋ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಮುಟ್ಲೇಬೇಡ, ಏನೋ ಇದು ಲಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಸೋದಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಹೆಸರು ಹಾಕು, ಅದು ಹಾಕು. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಟಚ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಫಿಶಿಂಗ್. ನೀವು ಕೊಡಿ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್, ಆಧಾರ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್, ಅದು ಇದು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿ ಅಗೈನ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇವಾಗ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಆಧಾರ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ is not to be shared as address proof. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ಹೋದಾಗ ಕೊಡಬೇಡಿ. ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಯುವರ್ ಆಧಾರ್ ನಂಬರ್. ನೀವೇನೇ ಜೆರಾಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಯಾವುದೋ ಹೋಟ್ಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ, ಅವ್ನ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಪ್ರೂಫ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಆಧಾರ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಅವ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಅವ್ನು ಮಾರ್ತಾನೆ ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆಗೆ. ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡಿ, ಇವನ್ ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಅನ್ಸಲ್ಲ ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ಚಾರ್ಟ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ ಏಜು ಹೆಸರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಡಮ್ಮಿ ಬಿಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಯಾವ್ದು ಜ್ಯುವೆಲರಿ ಶಾಪ್. ನಿಮಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ನಿಮ್ ಅದ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಯಾರೋ ಬಳೆ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಿಮ್ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯುವರ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅವೈಲಬಲ್. ಇದು ಗೊತ್ತಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಕದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದಾಗಿತ್ತು, ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಬೋಗಿ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಹೋಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಂದು ಅನ್ಸೋರು ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ. ಆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಸಾಕು ಸರ್. ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಎವೇಷನ್, ಅದು ಇದು, ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. ಇವಾಗ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್. ಸೊ ದಿ ಐಡಿಯಾ ದಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಸೇ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ವೆದರ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್, ಈ ಎರಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೀವಿ, ಇದು ಒಂದು ಹುಷಾರಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಡಿವೈಸ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇಫ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್. ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಬರೋದು ಇಮೇಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಇವಾಗ ವಾಟ್ಸ್ಆಪ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಇದು ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಏನೋ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವನ್ ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ಸ್ ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಕ್ಡ್. ಸಡನ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಯಾರಿಗೋ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಮೆಸೇಜ್. ನನಗೆ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಯಾರೋ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಗೈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ದ CEO of a company, he was my client. He calls up and says, suddenly I got a message, I'm in a little bit of a tough situation, can you help me out by just 50,000 rupees, ನಾಳೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಇವನಿಗೆ ದಿಸ್ ಫೆಲೋ ಯಾರೋ ಮಹಾರಾಜ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 50,000 ಕೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ. ನಾನು ಏನೋ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಸರಿಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅವನ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಹೌದಪ್ಪ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ ಸಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ಸೊ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಪೇ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಂತು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೋಯ್ತು ದುಡ್ಡು.
Mr. Prasad, I think we'll listen to some more of your experience. Let's cater to the other Arun Prasad. Do you have any solution for the government?
I think one thing the government can do is make it much more easy to communicate. See, it's a stigma basically. Like women now, there was a movement called as Me Too. Suddenly you see it exploded. So many things which were under the carpet came up. Maybe some kind of a thing where it becomes much more easier for people who have got it. No, otherwise we think that, oh my God, it's only unique to me. What will people think? People will think I'm stupid or, you know, such kind of things are the stigma. If they can make it much more, of course they are doing. You see a lot of advertisement from the police guys, right? Coming back and saying, if you have a problem, you know, talk to this or something like that. Make it much more easier, because whether we like or not, as you were saying, we will become a $5 trillion economy in the next couple of years. And majority of those business will be done on digital. Right? So when we are shifting there, this will only explode. So the more you learn out of this will come from data. So if people start communicating and logging this, now you will be able to come back. There's a pattern always. Please remember, even AI is about that only. Recognizing patterns through data. Once we have data, that's what will enable the government to protect us. So let them make it much more easier. That's the main thing I think.
See, the best is, I think if it is a Karnataka, there is an ITPT department is all over in Karnataka. You should give as a separate assignment to ensure that, especially MSME category, MSME goes Karna, please come out with a, in ITPT as a cyber security awareness cell. That's it. To start from there, that's all, nothing else. There is a huge fund which is available in IT/BT sector with various IT giants. Create an awareness, make a group of a panelist, like whatever the technical expert actually, ask them to give a training to all the sectors of MSME. Whether it is a two members company or whether it is a 200 or 500 member company. Actually, you should tell, make it IT/BT cells should come up with a program in their the activity. Make them as a cyber security awareness to the MSME. Fundamentally, if they do that now, it should become a calendarized event. It should become a calendarized event. I identify the panelists who are domain expert from there and start giving their awareness. Once the awareness starts now, then immediately it comes to action. Without having an awareness and training, whatever you tell, people don't understand. So I think that is something which you should do it now. At least whatever the trillion company which we are doing, at least we will be free from the cyber war. You can say cyber war. If you, to prevent the ahead of cyber war with respect to the finance, instability, start with at least we are in the beginning stage. Make them one ITBT, whatever, make a cyber security cell, make them a panelist and make them a calendarized event of training to start with. Once you start training, then immediately later all will come. What is required, what is not required, what is to be implemented. All these things will be a part of that. Like this is something which actually we should tell to the government or ITBT department to make this as a focused activity and a calendarized activity. I think that's something which I can suggest to the government.
Thank you. Lastly, Mr. Prasad, also, you indirectly representing the government as being a PSU bank, and I'm sure from government side you are taking a lot of initiative also. But still, for the MSMEs, what kind of campaign or the awareness, capacity building, or cybersecurity aspects? And if I just may add one thing, that somewhere I heard that there is probably one financial product like cyber insurance.
Yes, yes.
So is it available? Is it how it works?
That's true. They are having a product called as cyber insurance. By paying a small premium, right, you can get the insurance coverage, especially for the social engineering attack. What I told. So you can approach your banker, any banker, and you can ask whether your bank is having this product. So if it is there, you take it with a nominal premium. So you are going to get the coverage of 2 lakh to 5 lakh rupees maximum. So that's the better one. That's my suggestion. And apart from that, there is a CERTI here. We call it as a Indian Computer Emergency Response Team. Indian Computer Emergency Response Team. I request all of you to please note down this. So it is an official website in which it has given 15 elemental cyber defense controls, especially for MSMEs. Okay, so it is a beautiful document. So before telling this, I read the document. It is really beautiful. So take that and if possible, please implement in our
Some basic things, in bits and pieces are actually implemented. For example, banking data and insurance data. It can't leave the Indian shore. So you can't have data centers outside India having Indian data. Okay, this was the first thing that they insisted, that data centers have to come inside India. So that's how all this Google, blah blah blah, etc. All of these guys
What data center
Data center in India.
all in India. That's the first step, because if you look at any country, including the US, even in the US, these personal data cannot actually go beyond the, this thing, beyond the country, this thing, right? So that's the first step itself. That itself resulted in tremendous amount of investment, because these are massive data centers. I think, I don't know how many, 400 or 1300 data centers have actually come up after this rule came in. Okay, the same thing actually has happened in China, where they are introducing few things like that. Okay, now change is happening, but the problem here is ignorance and the volume of people to reach out. And the moment you do something, see, it's like this, right? Like children. Okay, they have got holidays, and then how much strict to be, because you enforce too much, then the fun is gone away. So you have to manage between, as parents, between fun and then being strict, right? So the situation is where to draw the line. As you were saying, the dilemma is like this, because we have just started digitalization journey, and then of course today, if you look at it, 50% of the world's transaction actually happens out of India, the origin. As you were saying, where is the data getting originated? More than 50% of the world's transaction is happening out of India, right? So now the moment that is large, do something and make it difficult, then people withdraw away from digitization, then you are putting it. So there is a balance. They are learning out of this. As you were saying, the most toughest data laws are European laws. Okay, even US you can get away with few things, but the European laws are so strict that you can do this, you can't do that, etc. That's how doing business with Europe is not easy at all. Every technology company, big tech, always have some 3 or 4 cases which they are fighting in the EU courts actually. They come back, they are saying this data, Google, you are having this kind of information, why are you collecting this, etc. So at a larger level, it's like trickling down effect. So it will reach time, and further ultimately it's all discipline also. As you were saying, at citizen level, it is very difficult to become an expert. You can't become an expert, but at least you should be aware. And then system should actually help, wherein, such kind of things.
No,
It's
what
still
I mean to tell is, one second, I'll get, because see, it's all transacted through bank account. So I feel a lot of responsibility lies with the bank also.
Yeah.
So that is what I felt. If that lady doesn't know how to operate it, she doesn't know how to open a claim, this one, maybe there should be some protection as a firewall, where our account is not go through the process. That is one. And all the surveys what the government do, they take a lot of data also. So now in this recent survey, your Aadhaar card, your bank number, your property, PID, it's all linked.
Yeah.
So if I give my dad's this one, the whole transaction of the family comes into your internet. So how you are going to protect it? Once it goes online, anybody can do anything.
See, this is how, if you look at the recent survey that the Karnataka government was trying to do, if they had tried to do the trick in Europe, this government would have been dismissed by the court, because you are collecting data and they are not the agency to actually collect this data at all. See, any survey that is actually being done, there are some, it's an act of parliament. right? They broke all the rules. You can get away with that today, but you can't do it in Europe at all. Or any other place, you can't have. For example, I'll tell you, when I was in the US, I was doing one interview, okay, to get an employee. I made one fatal mistake, you know. I asked a question, what is your marital status? That person would have sued me. Huh? I can't ask that question. Now later, you can't even ask whether that person, please introduce yourself, whether he is male or female. If you assume that because the lady is there, you are thinking you call her as Miss, they can sue you for that. Right? So the point what I am saying is they have gone to that extremes basically. Okay. But
Yeah.
the
So-
point here is it has to evolve, we are learning.
Right, yeah.